Again. Alright, we look like we're working to me. Okay, cool. Oh, man. I got pizza in my beard. It's the kind of day it is. Pizza beard kind of day. Don't even know where it went. Assume it's still there. Yep, it's a pizza beard kind of day. Oh, alright. What the hell are we going to get up to today? Well, we're going to take a look at some of the modular mech stuff that I started showing off last weekend, and then stopped showing off because I didn't have any more of it printed. I have more of it printed, but not enough to build a whole robot, because I've tried twice to print out the joints and they failed both times, both the official supports and the unofficial supports, which means that something else is fucked up on my resin printer. And I just haven't had the energy to deal with that since last week, so it's sat there. So I don't have any joints for it. Also, I was printing out those tiles for Necromunda. This is my FDM printer. The inside had apparently completely filled out with plastic. Like literally all of this was one giant plastic block. I had to like clip it and break it out. And this is literally the best I can get it. So I'm going to give it another try, but there's a good chance I'm just going to have to buy an extruder for it. So we'll see how that works. But this was a real pain and a really frustrating discovery on Friday. So we'll figure that out. But I haven't been able to print any more tiles because of the extruder filling it with plastic. So yeah. But anyway, I gotta deal with that later today. Anyway, last time we painted these guys up. These cool one-page rules troopers, and I painted them up, trying to get them in kind of Grenier adjacent colors, and I think they look pretty darn cool, to be honest. Quite happy with them. I think they look pretty cool. I think they look like a neat mix between ODST troopers from like Halo and like the troopers from Helldivers kind of thing. I think they're pretty sweet. I like the Human Defense Force guys a lot. Well, I had some others that I printed out. So I printed out myself like a captain, another guy that's shooting. These guys all printed along with the modular mech stuff that I'm going to show you that did print. Another cool shooty guy. The one problem with these, that I had was the neck sockets kept filling up with resin, and I just didn't see it when I cured them, so I had to clip down a couple of their necks. But here's a heavy gun, and it's gunner on a 40, which is pretty cool, so we got that. And then I got like a captain with a cape, and she's got like a headset. Big props for this antenna not breaking, by the way. To one-page rules for that. And then I've got like a radio operator guy who has a piece of dog hair glued to his head. But yeah, then I've got like a radio operator guy who's pretty cool too, with this little operator thing, radio, and his like radio bag. And then they have these mascots. Here's the other one. So this one's like another Wolfie, but it's got like a eye patch. They're pretty darn cool. Quite happy with them. But yeah, the Human Defense Force stuff is really, really cool. I enjoyed painting it last week, and I'm going to get these guys primed up. The set also comes with a whole bunch of different heavy weapon guys. So there's like a big bolter, there's a rocket launcher, there's a mortar, all kinds of stuff. I picked this one because it reminds me of the gun from Helldivers 2, the like two-person like anti-material rifle thing. So that's why I picked this one. But I thought they'd be fun. Pick up a little grimdark future firefight team out of them. I thought would be really cool. And last week I printed up this, and I talked about how I had to go through great lengths to secure the inside of it because of how it was hollowed, which was super obnoxious. But we showed off that, and I think I showed off some of the heads for it. So all kinds of cool heads. Look like all kinds of different stuff, like Virtual On, or Armored Core, or more Armored Core, some very anime shark head thing. Alright, and I think I looked at a couple of the weapons and stuff. Well, I've got some more bits to check out, so I thought that would be fun. These are bits that I have not reviewed. So like some of these are probably going to be crap or broken. So what I did was I just washed them out and then threw them out back to cure, and I haven't actually looked at them since. A bunch of this modular mech stuff does have some problems with being hollowed and not telling you that. So there are some issues in regards to that. Like I can see one of these pieces is basically was hollowed. I had not realized it and basically leaked all over itself because it still had liquid resin inside of it, and is now basically just going to be trash. So after we play with this stuff a little bit, we might be going and washing our hands. But I don't think there's any. So this stuff's been curing for a long time. I don't think there's any actual liquid resin left. I just think maybe some of them leaked originally, but this, I think it was a Kickstarter, made some really cool bits and bobs and pieces. Just some really neat mechs, like crab mechs and tanks and all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll check it out. Look through all of our bits and bobs here. Alright, and then everything else left is just basically trash, so throw the rest of it away. Okay. There we go. Alright, and here is one of the pieces that definitely leaked and made a giant mess, and that is going to go right in the trash too. So that one's trash. But yeah, so we got some feetsies. Let me grab my razor knife so we can. I should get I have a pair of breads and snips for my husband, so maybe I should get those out too. I say get them out, they're just hanging on my wall. But yeah, pretty cool feet. There's some kind of like pegs, I guess, that go in the ground when it's shooting. It's pretty cool. So we got that one, and then we got this one. So pretty cool stuff. And they're just like thunk, 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 and one of them's kind of like standing up like that, which is pretty neat. This is an ammo drum for a giant Gatling gun. That's really cool. I think the other part of it didn't print, but this is the ammo drum. It's pretty dope, to be honest. And then this is the barrel I printed out for it, which really looks like something out of Quake. It's really cool. Really neat. And let's see, we have some ankles. Again, these are hollowed, so you gotta make sure you cure the insides of those. And then we got some upper legs here. Again, hollowed. These ones, they look like they leaked a little bit, but I think they'll be okay. Yeah, this one leaked a little bit. So I'll just have to give it a wash before I paint it. Let's see. More little bits of hollows. See, yeah, see, the small pieces like this, I never expect to be hollowed. So, like, I don't think to wash them out really well. That's just sort of like a problem with these kind of hollowing those kind of bits, right? And then it's hard to get inside of it to make sure the inside cures. Like this shoulder piece, right? Like this thing is, I think this actually still has liquid resin in it, so it's going in the trash. But yeah, that's the problem with hollowing small bits like that. Like all these pieces I've shown you probably really should not be hollowed out. They should probably all be solid resin. I know that would make them more expensive, but you would definitely get a better result in the end. So some kind of scope. Got a bunch of ball joints. Pull them off their supports. Wow, this is actually one of the joints. So what this does, that one's for an arm. So what this does, here's another one of the joints, is these slide in here somehow. Okay, they're supposed to slide in there. Let's figure out if we can get them to slide in. Okay. Alright, so they slide in, and then... Man, that's really tight. But then that's your middle joint, and then it connects like that to the leg. But there it goes. There it goes. I heard the pop. See, and that's kind of what it's supposed to do. Maybe we're not supposed to use the long ones for the legs. Maybe use the short ones for the legs. Yeah, it's supposed to do that little pop there, and then you can kind of like bend it. And if you use more ABS like resin, it's supposed to kind of be posable. Like not really like a Gunpla kit or an action figure, but closer than what you would get normally in a model. And I think that's a neat idea. Honestly, I think I would probably rather just have regular joints though. But yeah, so that's how the legs go together, just like that. And then this is the hips, so it's also going to get another joint. So we're going to be like that, and then one of these small boys here is going to go in the leg, and then or not. Come on. Well, it goes in like that, and then the foot goes like that. So it'll be pretty cool. And that's just, you know, that's going to be a regular guy with him, so it's going to be a pretty big mech, all in all. And it should make a nice, like, proxy unit for this, because this foot's going to be a little closer than that. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. I got some. What the fuck is this? I think this is actually part for the Gatling gun that didn't print. Then we have another machine gun here, sort of like this one here. So I was thinking about having this mech have one in each hand and be like, but that might be kind of cool. So the way the weapons work is really neat. So there's a couple different hand like triggers that are kind of cool, and they all attach by basically like the top of the gun sliding into it. So like this one here, you can take this and like it can slide up in there. This one's really made for this kind of hand where like this front part's flat, because it kind of like sits in this divot, see, like that, and it sits really nice, so it's pretty cool. This one with the little tooth on it, this is made to be a pistol, which is this. Which is pretty cool. So, click. Neat little pistol. So yeah, so he's a big chunky boy. And then we have an arm. This is one of the scapulas for this chest. So this chest is supposed to connect like that, I think. And the shoulder joint just plugs right into it. Or if you wanted the shoulder joint to be smaller, you could do that too. Or connect in like not as far out, you could do that as well. You could just put one of these like longer style pegs in there and it would just sit out like this. It should be pretty cool. But these are intended to be the like scapulas, the like shoulder pads in this thing. So it can, in theory, have some movement up and down and stuff like that. So pretty cool. And we got a waist here. So we got our waist, and then that would plug into the hips. And we would basically build our robot like that. Which is pretty darn cool. This one I think we could actually put together. There we go. Or it just broke, one of the two. Yeah, it just broke. Fuck. Maybe this like whole like pieces fitting together thing isn't quite working out like the guy thought it would. Yeah, if this was just like a regular peg, that would honestly probably work better. Trying to make the mechs like action figures. I don't know if that worked out super great, to be honest. But yeah, so that's how that's gonna go. Yeah, and then we've got hips, and then we'll have hip to leg to foot, and he'll be a nice big blocky boy when he's all done. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Let's see. It actually looks like we have a good chunk of it. Let's see how much we have. Alright, so we have both feet. I'll just move everything to one side for now. We've got leg, leg, leg. So we're gonna need, let's see, another small joint for the leg. There we go. And then, let's see, what else? We're gonna have, here's some kind of joint. Here's another kind of joint. We've got this kind of joint as well. And then we have this one too. We've got a lot of joints here. Let me get my nippers, hold on. Yeah, I have a lot more of this printed than I realized, to be honest. There it goes. So these are for holding magnets. So you put a magnet in there, and then you connect another one like this, and you can swap them in and out. It's a really neat idea, but to be honest, I think it's also like ludicrously fiddly. So, yeah. Alright, we have yet another joint. Sorry, I'm probably not very entertaining today. I am not feeling the best, so just brain being really dumb. So, all right, then we have some more like knees, and then we have a long leg, long joint there. We have enough at least to build the lower body. So we could do that. So we need this, and then I need this and that. Yeah, we have enough to build the lower body. Let's do that. That'll be fun. This, I gotta get like in this hole a little bit better. Maybe I want to use this one instead, maybe? No. I'm going to use the shorties. But yeah, you can see it's actually compressing the resin piece. Probably because I'm betting these are maybe really tightly fitted. So when the resin swells and cures, I'm betting that's where the problem is coming from. Now you could just sand these down and it might work better, but never ever sand resin without a respirator, because it's super bad for you. Okay, there we go, I got that in. And then that will just go in the foot, just basically like that. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So that'll be our first leg there. And then I got this guy who's going to need the knee piece. So put that in. Okay. Now we're going to need to put the leg piece in. Alright, there we go. Alright, then we just need an ankle. For everyone, because you can't see what I'm doing when I reach over here, I'm not like handing it off to a little Metahune to do it for me. I'm just moving over to the wooden part of my desk so I can press down on it. So if I press here, this is foam and then 2 levels of tablecloth. So if I press over on the wood, it's much more firmer. So that's what I'm doing when I reach off the screen here. There we go. Okay, let's see, that's good. Alright, and then that will just go into that foot like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Okay, where did the hips go? We had hips. Here's the hips. Which side's the front? That looks like a back to me. Okay, so then I think we'll have to use a little bit longer joints for the hips. I think we'll have to use these for the hips because I only have one of those left. So I think we will have to use these, and I think it's pretty much the same thing. Just gonna pop them in. That one popped in really easy. I'm gonna pop this. No. I'm gonna pop this one in as well. That's a spooky noise. For anyone who's ever worked with resin or action figures or anything, that like popping sound like that, scares the shit out of you. And then that will go in here. Like, I see where he was trying to go with this joint thing. I think it's kind of neat, but at the same time, like, if these could just like connect up easier, I would not complain, you know? Because like they're never going to hold good tension being made out of resin, even if you printed them in really ABS resin. Like, it's kind of a fool's errand, you know? There we go. Okay. Well, we managed to build the body, lower body. That's cool. There we go. What size base do we want to put this guys on? Let me see what bases I've got. Huh. Poopy. Okay. I had like 3 bags filled with bases. I don't know where the hell they went. That's World War II 15mm, guys. Ah, here's one. Okay. This looks like that has some bases that might work. And the other base bag, there she is. Oh, there she is. This guy. That one's got some 40s, some stuff for 15mm. The bases I clipped off those Mars Attacks guys and a bunch of squares, so that one's not super useful. And this one, a bunch of 3D printed bases I bought before I got my own 3D printer. Okay, nothing particularly amazing in there. This one, we got some Malifaux bases, some old world square bases, and we got this boy right here, which looks like it used to have something on it, but I think should be a good size for our Mr. Robo. Maybe it'll be a little small for Mr. Robo. But I don't think that's like exponentially too small. I think that's an okay base size, you know? Now, here's the question. When you have something this wiggly, how do you start basing it? Well, the answer is you try to figure out roughly where one of the feet's going to go, and then you glue that down. Wow, that worked out really well, didn't it? Ugh. Yeah, there we go. And we'll just hold that for a minute. We might be able to get one arm built as well. We'll see though. We'll see as we go. We'll play as we go. That's all we can do. But yeah, I really wanted to play Red Dead Redemption today, but I don't have the energy for it. Brain is just being not nice. My husband was like, "You keep staring at things," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do today." See something and it'll just like suck my brain in, and I'll be like, fuck. Maybe it just be fucking sitting there staring at file names for 15 minutes. It's the kind of day it is. Alright. to be honest, those hips, I would actually even debate not even having a joint in there and just gluing them straight. Okay, and then we will throw some glue on the hip, throw some glue on the hip. There we go, and then this guy's going to need some glue on the knee, and this one's going to need some glue on the knee as well. There we go. Okay, and this actually already began to set. That I want it to be like this. There we go. Okay. It's a pretty cool set of robot legs. That's pretty damn cool. Alright, now we gotta figure out what middle piece we want, because I've got a couple. So we can use this one, which is kind of the thicker one. Like that, and it'll be a little bit shorter than that. Or we can use this one, which is like a more kind of industrial looking, less armored piece. Honestly, I think the more armored piece would probably be more fitting for this thing, because it looks super heavily armored. So I think that's what we'll do. And because these clip things are weird, I'm going to cut one of the bits out of it first, because I think it'll go on easier. And we're also going to put some glue in there. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And in the so this is an old Kickstarter. It's been around for a while, but you also get just like an insane amount of other bits for it. There we go. All right, we'll let that glow for a minute. We'll hold that for a minute, and we'll look at what other pieces we could get on this guy. Hello! Building a resin robot. Don't have a ton of energy, not feeling the best, but we're powering through. We're carrying on. We're keep on keeping on. That's what we're doing. Every day. Alright, let's see. We could give our guy this bigger rifle, which honestly I think might be a little more fitting for him. These rifles seem really small. Don't they? They seem really tiny. Like, even if it was carrying two of them, that would still feel pretty tiny compared to that. Like, this as a double-handed rifle feels really, really small. But then again, little machine guns seem kind of neat, too. I don't know. Choices, right? Alright, we are going to use this head, because I think this head looks cool. There's like a dozen plus heads. This one looks very, I don't know, Gundam and Armored Core-y to me. So that's what we're going to use. That's basically just going to go there like that. But we're also going to put in, so he has this neck thing, but as you can see, the same thing happened with those little clips, so it broke. So, but we're going to use that neck still. It should still work nice. Okay, let's see what we got. Do we have enough stuff to do one arm? We have a scapula. We have a second scapula. So the shoulders. We've got both of those. I think all of the actual shoulders, because this is actually like the collarbone kind of piece here. I think all the actual shoulders, actually, they're the pieces that leaked resin everywhere and are trash. Which is a shame, because we could fully build this robot if that hadn't happened. Because this is the arm, so we have arm, 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 arm. Yeah, and I just need to reprint those scapulas. But yeah, so the arms are just going to be basically the same way. right, where we just push these joints down in there. Right, just reach off the screen to the wooden table. Shove the joint down. All right, there we go. And then same thing. And that looks like the front to me. That's the back of the arm. That one's really tight. One more time. See, and that's what I was afraid of, shoving them. Crap. Okay. Just gotta figure out how to glue that back on, and we'll be in business. So, like that. That works. Yeah. Yeah, I do wish with these STLs there was this thing where it's just like not posable joints, so I could actually just make it like much more regular miniature. Alright, and then we got our hand here. That's going to plug in like that. And that will go into a shoulder, which will go into the scapula. So it'll end up... God, you guys can't even see that. It'll end up being something like this. Or maybe like that. Not sure how I want the scapula to go yet, but... I think that looks pretty cool. So it'll end up being like that, and then the shoulder piece will be here. I'm just going to have to reprint those, so that will be the shoulder piece there. But yeah, not a bad little robot. Nice size, neat design. We'll use this head. No, the other head is cooler. Yeah, like he's a... Once I get this head on, we'll grab a mini or two to compare him to. He's pretty cool. Just gotta get my printer fixed so I can print the rest of him. But he'll be a pretty fun project, especially doing him up in the Grenier colors, like the troopers that we did last week, or like I'm gonna show in a second. Kind of looks like he has a chicken neck, to be honest. I don't know if I like that. Maybe a different head. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Alright, well we can let it sit for now. Worst case I can always pull it off later. But yeah, I think that's all I can build, given that I don't have the shoulders. So if I had the shoulders, we could actually full build this guy. It would be pretty cool, but unfortunately I do not. So, but yeah, definitely a neat STL kit. Pretty cool stuff. I do wish there was a non-posable joint connector option, like just like a peg without the balls on the end. I think that would be way nicer. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And because I said I would do sizes, so here's one of the troopers we printed yesterday from One Page Rules. So he's going to be a big boy compared to them. He's a big old chungus, which is pretty cool. Here's a Battletech mini that I primed but have not painted. A Arachno rig from Games Workshop that I have painted but I'm going to repaint. Here is some kind of mech from, the fuck is even the name of this show? A Main Warrior of the Borderlands, I think it's called. I don't know. They're Bandai kits. They're really, really cool. 10 out of 10. Skanky Robot Devil Girl. Towering over him, actually. She's a good bit chunky header, good bit head taller than he is. I'm surprised by that. But yeah, definitely a neat little kit. Okay. Let me move all the 3D printed stuff over here, off the way. And we're going to take a look at some of the necromunda tiles. There's a couple things I wanted to try playing around with and doing on them that I thought might be pretty fun. Okay. Necromunda tiles. Alright. This is the one I showed off last week. These are 6x6 little squares made from STLs from, it's like the lab of Dr. Guillermo or something like that. It's on my mini factory. You'll get just a ludicrous number of STLs that work with GW Zone Mortalis. So this is the official Zone Mortalis stuff, and they plug right in. The Doctor Island whatever lab thing comes with walls and pillars too, so you don't have to have the Zone Mortalis stuff, but it does work 100% with it. So my plan for this little terrain project was to make all these squares like this, and then have them be able to butt up with each other and be able to make a 2x2 gaming table out of it, where I can't swap the walls out, but I can swap the position of the tiles to get different layouts. I also decided to not glue the tops down on these, so I can swap those in and out. Like, say I don't want this one to be stairs today, I can just swap it to being regular walls. So this one's pretty much done, but what I want to do is I want to put a couple little like extra bits on it, to just extra it up a little bit, so I think that'll be pretty cool. So we're going to be breaking out some dirt and some wires, what we're going to be doing. I also want to do like graffiti and like wanted posters and stuff, but I don't have those ready yet. So we're just going to do some wires and we're going to do some dirt. So that's what we're going to do today. So let me grab some dirt. We also have some flock, but we probably won't get to this today. And we're going to also have some wires when I find wherever the hell I put them. Alright. Got a nail here. That will also go in the trash. Okay. We got some wires. Actually, we have some LEDs here. That's what we have here. But I'm going to steal some wire off of them, because they all have these massive wires. So I'm just going to steal a little bit of the wire off of them. So we're going to steal a little bit of this red one and a little bit of this green, or this black one here. There we go. That should be more than enough wire for today. I'll go ahead and I'll put that back in there. So this giant bag of little LEDs, I got this for like, I don't know, like $5 off fucking Amazon. It's okay. They're not as bright, I feel like, as they should be. So, okay. Now I also want to put a little bit of dirt and that kind of gubbins around as well. Now the trick to this with these walls is that I need to make sure that the walls are still modular after I apply gubbins. So what that means, because these things work in a series, it means that I basically can't interfere with these center tiles, because all the necromunda tiles run off this cross system. So if I interfere with the center tiles, I'm not going to be able to swap in these pieces like this door, because there's going to be stuff in the way, right? Whereas now I can do that, and now I have a door. But that does mean I have free reign for basically all the other squares. So I've got free reign for 4 squares on this sucker out of the, 9 squares, right? So it should be pretty good. So, yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's pop a little bit of dirt down. Vallejo Dark Earth effects. Pretty cool stuff. I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to grab a little, and I'm just going to kind of like dab it in to certain spots. Just a little bit, right? To be like, oh, here's some dirt here, and, you know, a little bit over here kind of thing, you know? Then to make this look really cool, what I'll do is I'll come back later and I'll hit a tiny, tiny bit of it with flocking. And I'll make it look like it's like, I don't know, growing stuff, right? So I'll put a little bit there. This one's tiles are also painted, so we can kind of dirt all of these. This one I'm not going to put anything on. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, I'm just going to dab around a little bit of dirt here and there. These ones here are still going to get a little bit of wash. They don't have their brown wash on them yet, so they're still going to get their wash. And because these are connected up to the walls, we can actually put some like in there as well. All right, so that's pretty cool. Something we couldn't do if this wasn't glued down. So. Alright, it's going to be a very dirty tile, that one is. Alright, now let's dirt this guy. So yeah, I haven't painted the wires on these guys yet, so because of that, I haven't done them with their wash yet. But they're going to get a brown wash as well. Because I wanted the tiles to stand out a little bit, like the ground. So originally I started painting these like the walls in tans and grays, and then I was like, I actually want them to stand out a little bit, because then it makes, one, better contrast for the camera, having the dark background, and two, it's easier to kind of like see the walls and the stuff, right? I felt like it was really blending together when they were the same kind of color. So yeah. All right. There we go. We got some dirt mixed all around. And now what we're going to do when I was showing off the extruder for my 3D printer earlier, here's one of the globs of plastic I had to cut out of it. There was like probably 20 times that in it, just because the entire extruder had filled up with plastic. Pain in the ass. Anyway, cool. So we got some dirt down. Now let's do some wires. Now, when I have the roof sections on it, it'd be neat to have some wires hanging down from them. And the problem is I'm not going to permanently attach the roof sections. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some wires just kind of around. Just to add some kind of like difference. And some bits and bobs that are kind of like going from one thing to the other kind of deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to, for all of these, we're going to glue one end down, let that sit, and then put it where we want it, and then we'll cut it. So we can get a couple of these gluing while we wait. Bonk. Might take a second or two. Not a fan of accelerator. I don't ever use it, so we'll let that sit. But while that one sits, we can go and look at this one. All right, pretty much the same thing. So my plan here for this one is to actually like have it go from one of these tiles across like that. So and we'll have a couple wires basically run back and forth, as I think that'll be really neat. So and something that you can't really do if you keep it totally modular, right? Like I wanna use the fact that I'm gluing parts of this down as like actual benefit. All right, we'll let that one set for a minute, and the other one should probably be good now. Okay. Yep. And this guy here, we are just gonna have him, I don't know, basically go up like that and then end. Or no, I guess he should end into something. So we'll have him go up and into this corner here. That's what we'll do. Just like that. Bonk. Yeah, we'll just have him go like that. It'll be like a little wire running across. Should be pretty fun. A little glue there. And that can go right there. Just like that. Trying to not glue my hand to it. Oh my god, glue in the damn corner. Alright, so we'll do that. God damn it, dude. Just stay in the freaking corner. Nobody puts wire in the corner. I say that making reference to a movie that I don't even know. Now, while that is... Alright, that one's being a pain in the tail. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another daub there. And then we will... Shit. Oh, I want you in this corner. As I glue my finger to the damn thing. Yeah, I'll do that, and then... that can glue right there. Alright, we'll hold that for a second. Nice. So there we go. Neat little wire running between two pieces there. Now, I might have just violated my own rule. I did. I got in the way. Okay, so we can't have stuff even touch the walls on these pieces if we want them to be modular. Okay, I see how it is. That's fine. We can make it work still. I believe in us. Go team. We'll have it go up and into this thing instead, because that's kind of funny. That's going into the vent. Interesting. Okay. Well, the more you know. Go. And there we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, so now this should be able to sit there flush now. Okay, cool. Okay. Good. Alright, so now that won't get in the way. Alright, so we see that we have to keep all of this clear, not just the base. So these sides also have to be clear. That's fine. It's less fun, but it's fine. So the same should probably be said of these sides as well then, I guess. So we'll keep that in mind. Okay, well that one's got a little bit of wire action. Let's go look at our black wire. And this guy is just going to go basically be pegged all the way across. So I'll go ahead and I'll cut him. And put a little glue here. And we'll put our guy there as well, in that little corner there. We'll try to not get the thing to glue to our hands more than There we go. Now we pretty much want to do kind of like the same thing, but I'm going to do it with the red wire now. But I like the idea of it going like across this section. I think that's really neat. So this time maybe I'll have it go in that vent again, and we'll keep that theme rolling because I think it's interesting. So, all right, put a little more glue down. Now I'm not really worried about the glue going down and becoming shiny. I know it's a thing you normally have to worry about with super glue. I'm not worried about it here because once these are all done and painted and detailed up and stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit them with a matte varnish. So I'm not really worried about making it shiny. Okay, that guy is good. He's looking good. The dirt I'm going to dry brush with a tan and kind of make it like a smudge, kind of. I don't think it will dry in time to do that. So, all right. Where did the other black wire we cut go? Oh, there it is. Okay, how's our red wire? Good? All right, sweet. I guess it was not good. And I guess I cut it way too short. So we'll switch to the longer side. Sorry, I'm probably off the camera. There we go. Alright, we're just going to let that sit again. Now I have a super tiny bit of red and a piece of black to do. So, the red, you know what, we're going to go ahead and just use the red like with these other wires. Because I think it'll add some little bit of personality to it as well. Yeah. Bonk, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll tab that down. Sorry, you're probably just staring at the back of my hand. Shit. The minute you get super glue on your hands, it's all over, man. Game over, man. Game over. Alright. Now it's going to glue. That's going to take a minute. If you ever want to help super glue, blow on it. Not because the air does anything, but because the moisture in your breath helps it to cure. I'm not kidding, that's a real thing. Alright. Go. Alright. So there we'll have some little wires going from one to the other. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Neat little bit of breaking up the squares, right? That's kind of what we want to do with this. We want to break up the squares. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, over there. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about this. Now, I don't think I'm going to do it today, but I want to brainstorm it a little bit. We're going to use the rest of that black wire too in a minute. But what I'm thinking about doing with these is using them as grates over some of these squares, so that it would be like this kind of like raised grate here. And I'm thinking about painting them in like bronze or something. And then I could actually put stuff underneath of them, like toxic ooze or all kinds of stuff. I think it's a cool idea, and I think if I keep them to these four corner pieces, I don't think they will get in the way of anything. But I think it's a kind of cool idea as a neat little piece. The problem is that because it's no longer as flat as the other pieces around it, it's going to be harder to put scatter terrain on it. That's the one reason I have not done it yet. So in theory, I could cut it down and put it only on the inside. Then it would be slightly less tall. But I think the idea that it's raised is kind of neat. I think it breaks up some of the visualness of it, of the tiles being flat. But I don't know yet. I'm still kind of debating that. I like the idea of being able to see stuff under it. I think that's a lot of fun. Like, you know, toxic ooze and stuff, right? And some will be like broken and it'll be like ooze dripping down or whatever. I think that would be pretty cool. So that's the thing I'm thinking of. Now these squares, they're actually the supports for the underneath of this thing. They print out in these little squares here to keep it from falling. So when you go to clean it up, you just pull them out. They essentially just pop, 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 and pop right out. So I have like an entire stack of these, and I've thrown a whole bunch of them away too. But yeah, I'm debating doing that. I think it might be kind of cool. We'll have to see. All right, so let's do the last bit of wire. This one here needs to be finished as well. So this one here is going to just plug in. Actually, you know what? I might actually just have it plug in over here. Ooh, that's a lot of glue. Shit. Don't want that much glue. Don't want that much glue. Too much glue. Thank you. Alright, so I think that's what we'll do for that one. Alright, now we have one big black piece left. I think this one I think is good. I don't think we need any wires on that one. Let's go look at the other two that we have. Okay. Put a wire over here going into like that panel there that's open in the wall. We'll put one on this side. But yeah, so other bits and bobs that I'm going to do for these, but not going to get to today because I feel like ass and I've already been streaming for an hour. Other things that I'm going to get to. I'm going to connect up. I'm sorry. I'm going to do flocking on some of these dirt pieces after I do a dry brush, like a brown dry brush on all the dirt pieces after they're dry. And my goal for that is kind of to smoosh out the like the look of the dirt, not to smoosh the paint out, but to like make it look like the dirt pile is like slightly larger than where the like brown and the texture really starts, right? Like it's kind of like it's building up to the more moundy pieces. And I'm going to hit a couple little spots on those with flocking. To do that, it's just PVA glue, and then you sprinkle the flocking on, tap the excess off, and it's good. The last, the other thing, not the last thing, Jesus. The other thing I'm going to do to this is I'm going to do a bunch of grass tufts. And I actually have some 3D printed mushrooms that will probably go in certain spots. Like this grate, for example, might get like a 3D printed mushroom that's going to be like neon green or something like that. But though the mushrooms are going to kind of be more of a sparing thing, to be honest, than like the grasses. Because you're probably like, oh, how does grass grow deep down where there's no light, really? Grass will fucking grow anywhere. It really does, man. It finds a way. So the fact that there's like fluorescent lights around, grass will grow. So, yeah. This one, go over there, and just run along the top here like that. And there we go. Alright, well that's a couple of wires added. I like this one a lot. I could do the same with chain as well. Little bits of chain here and there would be kind of cool. Also wanted posters I think will also be really neat. So I'm gonna print those out with a regular printer, and then probably dye the printer paper with like a watered down wash, so it becomes like kind of brown and crunchy, and then just so essentially just glue them on after that, and it'll look pretty cool. Graffiti, there are decals for graffiti. If you want graffiti decals, they're made by the people that make not Mad Max, Judge Dredd, by the people that make Judge Dredd. I think that's Modifius. No, it's not Modifius. I don't know who makes the Judge Dredd game, but they're made by the Judge Dredd game people. They have a bunch of decals that you can put on for graffiti. But honestly, I think I think it'll be more fun to do it myself. I think it'll be fun to paint little sayings and phrases and stuff. I think that'll be pretty cool. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I apologize for... I have not played a game on the channel forever, and I really want to. I just have not had the energy to. But, yeah. Yeah. So we put our robot together. That neck is still weird. The troops are really cool. I like these a lot. They're really fun. And we put some wires and some dirt down. The dirt's going to get a dry brush and then some flocking, and it should be really cool. But anyway, I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry I was kind of low energy. But I'll be back next week with something else, and we'll have something else to build and hobby together with, and that'll be fun. Anyway, that's